Hello everyone, so in this video it is my great pleasure to welcome you inside my new home, and I've finally finished moving in. I am so happy with how everything has turned out, so I'm really excited to start creating content in here. Of course, since this is the first video that I am filming in here, everything still needs to be figured out and fine-tuned, but I know a lot of you were excited to see what new things I got, so I thought that would be a great first video to film in my new little filming room right here. So before we get right into that, I really have to start this video with a huge thank you, because I just made my last video, which was my tour of my empty apartment, in order to update you guys and be as honest as I felt I could be, and I just felt like it was something I needed to sort of get through, and I never expected really any kind of response from everyone who watches my videos other than just acknowledgement that I was doing my best. And so it really surprised me just how many incredible comments I got in reply to that video. Reading your comments made me laugh, it made me cry, and most of all, it made me feel like I wasn't alone in what has been a pretty tough time. And I just want to say thank you for that, because you've never met me, I may never meet you, but reading through those comments made me realize that that doesn't in any way diminish our connection, and it didn't in any way diminish how much your words meant to me. And I just really wanted to thank you for taking the time to write down all of those notes of encouragement and support when I really needed it. So I just wanted to say a quick word about that, because it has meant the world to me. I was overwhelmed with it, and I'm still reading all of your comments. I have read every single one. I wish I could reply to every single one, but there are hundreds, and all of them made me feel like the reason behind this channel stays true for me no matter what I'm going through in my life. I feel like we are connected. I feel like making these videos is a huge source of enjoyment for me. It is an amazing privilege that you take time out of your day to watch what I put up, and I'm really thankful for that. And I just wanted you to know that in this instance especially, it really meant the world to me. With that said, let's get right into some pretty shiny new home stuff that has really helped to make this apartment feel like the fresh start that I needed and like the home that I hoped it would be. The place that I spent the most money and that kind of started the shopping and shaping of my vision for my new place was West Elm, because I have long loved their stuff and never really taken the plunge in getting any, because it does, need to be shipped from the States and so forth, but I really found that everything that I got from them turned out to be absolutely worth the money, and I just am in love with how everything looks in the apartment. So I'm going to show you the smaller items now, and then make sure that you stick around until the end of the video, because then I'll take you around and kind of give you a little sneak peek tour. That way you can see how all of the larger items look that don't really make sense for me to hold up, because you wouldn't really see how it looks in the space. So West Elm, I think, has a really nice selection of throws and blankets, which I am a big believer of in terms of making a space feel homey, and I think it's a really easy thing to switch up with the seasons as well, to switch up your color palette in your decor. As a renter, I think it's a really easy way to do that when you can't really switch up paint colors or do anything major. So I bought this beautiful handmade blanket, and I really like the way it has a geometric print, because I still want everything to look really current, but you'll see eventually when I do show you the apartment tour as soon as I can, because I'm still waiting on a few furniture items that my furniture and taste in decor is very classic, sometimes a little bit glam or art deco, and so little instances of modernism like the print on this blanket really help to kind of shake that up a little bit. So I also really love the color. I think the cobalt is really gorgeous, and it actually goes with pretty much everything as a color, and I like that it has a little bit of ivory going on. It also, I think it essentially is double-sided, so you have a more plain side and then a more fun side. It has that really heavy luxe feeling, and I'm really happy with how it turned out in person. I think it looks even better than it does on the site. So that's the first item that I bought, and then I bought two smaller items. The metallic and marble of these little decorative boxes really complements the overall kind of decor look that I'm going for. So this one is really pretty. It's got a teal print. Again, you can see I have a lot of blues and teals and aquas running through the decor of the apartment. It's not oceanic per se in that like I don't have a lot of seashells or anything. It's not a really beachy place, but in terms of the color palette, I found that they're really easy colors to play with. They go with a lot. You can really play with the different tones, and it all seems to work together very effortlessly. This one is really neat. Right now I'm just using it to store my headphones, my nice ones, so I don't get them all tangled, and I have this on my coffee table. And then the other one is this little marble box. I think little marble accents like this are a great way to adopt that trend without having your whole place end up looking like a bathroom. I have to pretty much restrain myself when it comes to marble because I have always loved it, and now because it's in fashion, it's literally everywhere, and I could probably have marble everything in my apartment if I wanted to. But this is a great way to kind of work that in without having it be overwhelming. I think right now is a great moment to look for a few marble pieces if you like that look, because you will have so much choice and so much selection of really beautiful items, and I think it's actually a true classic that will always look good and really bring a luxe feeling to your space. The second item that I want to show you is pretty much a dream come true for me because I have always wanted this Smeg kettle. Smeg has a lot of history behind it. I think they actually pretty much brought the dishwasher into people's homes in the 50s or somewhere around there, and I think they just have amazing styling. Compared to the average kettle, it is definitely pricey, but I love the styling of it. I love the color of it. I think it's a really neat way to add a little bit of color into your kitchen. My kitchen is very neutral and gray, so I think a little bit of minty green really livens it up, and if you ever wore that nail polish SC Mint Candy Apple when it was huge on YouTube a couple of years ago, this is a pretty much exact match for that, and it's just so creamy and gorgeous. I really love this as a kettle. I've used it a couple of times, and it does work really well. It's a kind of luxe experience. It just makes really nice sounds when you use it, and you can see, ooh, I know guys. Anyway, you know, it's the little things sometimes, and I think if you're like me and you don't like to have your counters very cluttered, your kettle is probably one of the only items that is going to kind of stay visible all the time, and I'm also a tea lover, so it's a great fit for me, and this was a beautiful gift from my mom. She had it sent to me because she is still in Hawaii, and I was so excited when I received this. And I got these new bathroom accents from the Bay, so these are from their Distinctly Home line, and they're a faux marble, so it's like a composite stone, and it's, I think, got a really luxe look to it for the price because this was $14, and then the soap dispenser I think was about $20, but then they were both 25% off, so it ended up being quite a good deal. And I don't know really whether it's showing up in the light right now, but there's a very slight sparkle effect from the texturizing that's done in the stone right here, and since I do have a marble counter in the bathroom, it looks really nice on that while still being a little bit more affordable than something that would have been a solid marble. Now I have this big bag on my lap of kind of bits and bobs that I got. Something I actually got for DIY for the den, which is just off the kitchen, is this marble contact paper. Yes, you see a trend to this video. Marble obsession is happening, but this one was the one that had the best reviews on Amazon. I did quite a bit of research on which one to get, and I do think it looks really good. It looks really real, and I'm actually going to do a DIY project for how to make a desk look like it has a marble top, because I have a desk that got really scratched while it was in storage, so I needed to either get rid of it or find a solution and DIY it. So I'm going to DIY it with you guys probably in the next video that I put up. The other item that I got from Amazon is really cute, and I haven't actually decided where this is going to end up. These are the kind of finishing touches I still need to do before I do my apartment tour. But these are little fairy lights, which I think are really nice to kind of get that whimsical kind of effect, and you can kind of overload on fairy lights and end up looking a little bit too young, I think, you know, for a grown-up. But I thought these ones were really nice. I don't know how well you can see, but they're essentially little copper wires, very dainty, with tiny little itty-bitty lights on them, and these were really cheap, despite the fact that it has 100 lights on it, and I think it's like about 6 feet of lighting, so it's pretty generous, very affordable, and yeah, it's real copper, so it has that really nice warm hue to it, and I think it will make whatever I wrap it around look really romantic. I'm kind of thinking of maybe doing a more subdued version of what I did on my bar cart at Christmas, kind of on a more permanent basis and wrapping it around the bar cart, but I need to try that out and see how it looks. About this little Le Creuset cocotte, mini round cocotte, which is cute, and this is in the color Caribbean, so it's a really pretty teal, and it looks really nice with the kettle as well. It doesn't match, but like I said, I think different oceanic hues like this kind of really bounce off of each other really beautifully in the home, so it's kind of the color palette that I have gone for. So you have the minty green, and then this is kind of going more into a teal and blue, and they look really pretty together. And in case you think, what on earth is this little mini thing for? I feel you. I stared at these every time I would go somewhere that sells Le Creuset, and I couldn't really think of a purpose for it. I think it's made for either cheese or like to bake a brie in, but it would be a pretty small brie by my standards, or like to make one egg, but I could never justify it for that. And then I had this brainwave while I was standing there, and I realized that it doesn't need to be used to bake anything. You can use it to dispense some things. So I'm actually going to use it for salt. So I have fine salt, and then I also am a really big fan of like the chunky Himalayan pink salt, and you can kind of use it as a finishing salt, and having a little dish for salt like this makes it really easy to reach for while you're cooking. So this will be my new little salt dish that will live on my counter next to my beautiful kettle. This is actually my first ever real pepper grinder. So I've always had the cheap ones that come with the pepper already in it, but I've never had a real professional one, and buying things like this makes sense for me because I do spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I really love to cook, so I am really excited to have this. And how cool is it? It's totally ombre, so it kind of finishes to a dark teal and then goes up to a light aqua, and I just think it's so beautiful. So this is the color Caribbean again, and these look kind of a little bit different than your average salt and pepper set, but it's also very cooking friendly, like more than a tiny little dispenser of salt or something like that. And I just really like the way that it turned out, and I'm kind of really proud of myself for thinking of that. So another thing I got, which is not home decor but it was purchased at the same time, was this Philips, it's got plastic attached to it, Philips Angel Hair and Pappardelle kit. So I have the full Philips pasta maker, which is amazing. Let me know if you ever want to see a review on that. I pretty much do not eat boxed pasta anymore at all because I think fresh pasta is so much tastier, and because I add eggs to it, I think it just tastes more substantial and is just overall more enjoyable for me. So this adds another 2 pasta shapes that I can make, so I can now make pappardelle and I can make angel hair. And I found that the spaghetti that it makes, like the original attachment, is really quite thick by my standards, like compared to your average dried spaghetti. So the angel hair will be a kind of finer spaghetti, I think, because fresh pasta also kind of puffs up a little bit when you cook it. So yeah, I'm excited to use those because I pretty much don't eat any other pasta now, so having the extra attachments makes a lot of sense for me. Okay, this is another, okay. To me, this is like Christmas. I don't know what it is about this little egg cup set, but just the beautiful colors of it and the way they're kind of ombre is mind-blowingly enjoyable. Every time I open the box, I could not resist getting this, even though I don't know when I will ever need a total of 6 egg cups, but I'm just going to put them up on a shelf in my kitchen so that I can see them, and they will make me really happy whenever I'm in there. So here they are. I think they are so gorgeous. You can see there's a Caribbean blue one here, and then I actually have a Le Creuset like full-size pot for cooking in the red, so it kind of ties together all of my kitchen belongings. And then I also actually splurged, and instead of getting the dollar version of barbecue tongs, I got some Good Grips ones because they're just nice to hold. These were $15, which seems really expensive, but the quality of them should be really good, and I just find a lot of the ones that you get often are really big because they're meant to be used on a barbecue rather than in home cooking, and my hands are quite dainty, so you can see this is their small size and it's a really good fit for my hands, so it'll be really comfortable to use, and they're just great for multi-purpose, like for stir fries or flipping any kind of protein that you might be cooking. So love. So that is it for small movable items that I got. So let's go and take a little walk together. I'll give you a little sneak peek of my apartment, and you can kind of see how the larger items that I got look in the space. So first of all, in terms of bigger items, we have my beautiful new bedding, which is from a brand called Bluebell, and I am in love with all of their bedding. I actually have bedding from them in Hawaii as well. I just think it's so beautifully made. It's a sateen type cotton, so it feels so luxurious against your skin, and all of the prints are stunning. And I find that really hard to find. Often when you receive prints close up, they're not that beautiful, but here it looks like a real watercolor painting. Just love the way that it looks in this bedroom. I'll show you the whole bedroom when it's finished. So like I said, this is just a sneak peek, but you can see it has quite a lot of tones in it that you can play with in terms of decor. Then I have now made good use of my brand new West Elm lamps. For me, these just give the entire room such a luxurious hotel vibe. The marble on them is gorgeous. It has a real kind of art deco vibe, I think, and the little pulls that you turn the light on and off with just make the most satisfying little click when you wake up and go to sleep, and it makes a real difference to my day. So I just have some little coffee table books stacked up there with a little paper press. And then finally I have my new West Elm lamp with the real kind of old Hollywood vibe to it and the wooden legs. This is a tripod style lamp. It adds so much light and warmth into my living room. Let me show you how it looks turned off, because it actually looks very different. So you can see one of the magical things about this lamp is when it's turned on, it looks quite gold and very warm, but when you turn it off, it looks very silver, kind of almost a little bit more industrial looking with the hammered, slightly hammered metal to it, and it's just so reflective and beautiful and glam. I love how unusual it is when you guys see the whole room and it's finished. And I've received my last couple pieces of furniture. You'll be able to see that it really finishes the whole room. Now finally, I know this has no relevance whatsoever to any kind of home decor video, but I thought I would show it to you anyway because it's in the sale right now. So if I can find it online, I will link it. I got a new bathing suit cover up because I will be going to Hawaii in exactly a week. By the time you see this video, it'll be less than a week, and I wanted something new and fun to wear on the beach. So this is from La Blanca at Nordstrom, and check out this gorgeous, bright, happy print. I just love it so much. It's a really slinky, comfortable material, and I just really like it because it's just covering enough. You know, it's essentially like a mini dress with long sleeves. I'm really excited for that trip because I essentially have not seen my mom since January, and I've been going through all of this on my own in Vancouver, so I'm just really excited to see her and, you know, properly catch up with her in person, because as great as distance communication is, I'm sure if you've ever had family be far away, you will understand that it is so exciting when you get to see them in person. So I'm going to go see her for 10 days, and let me know down below if there's anything specific you would like to see from that trip. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of vlogging will happen if you guys are interested. I think that would be a fun time to vlog, and I'm just really excited to go on that trip and share it with you. So that is it for my new home goodies haul. Thank you so much for watching, for all of your comments, and for just being generally awesome, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!